Hey everyone, welcome back to my channel. Today, I'll be showcasing my productivity desk setup, which I've been using since the start of the pandemic. I've ran my business here, I've edited my videos and podcasts here, and of course I've gamed here. So without further ado, let's get into it. So yes, let's start off with the core, which is actually this MacBook Air M1, and this is the core of this whole productivity setup. Without this, I can't do virtually anything because this basically runs my business, runs my video editing, audio editing, game, everything runs on this. Yeah, and I believe I've said many times that I actually bought it after the pandemic this year, April. So yeah, it's actually featured in my review and my lifestyle investment video as well. But today we'll go more in depth because, of course, many people know that the MacBook and MacBook Air, even the MacBook Pro, just comes with a few USB-C / Thunderbolt ports, and therefore you definitely need a dongle for that. So for this, I actually got myself a multi-purpose dongle, 6-in-1, 6-in-1 dongle, which supports external power, HDMI, Ethernet port, and then 3 USB at the bottom, and then I just stick it with Velcro onto the case, so I can remove it anytime if I really don't need this dongle, or just stick it here when I need to use it. And all this, of course, the first one is connected to Apple Power Brick, HDMI connected to my monitor, Ethernet connected to the mesh Wi-Fi, which I'll go into detail later, and then USB actually is connected to another 3 USB devices through this USB hub. So yeah, this is a bit funny, but actually I'm not sure why I actually use this USB hub. Before this, I started with only one, which is my webcam, and then I added the microphone for my podcast, and then after that the mouse pad, the RGB mouse pad. I actually have no idea why I wanted to use the USB hub in the first place, because I never actually plugged the webcam directly in, but I guess I just had that, so I just used it anyway. Yeah, that's actually quite funny. I personally think it's quite funny. But yes, next up, I will go into the mesh Wi-Fi. Before that, let me just wake my MacBook first. But yes, so now going into the mesh Wi-Fi, the same thing, which I've actually featured this in my lifestyle investment video. It's a very worth it investment because now my whole house gets very good Wi-Fi coverage and connection at pretty much every single corner. But I actually bought this a few months after I upgraded my whole house into mesh Wi-Fi, because I bought this right before we wanted to start our podcast, because I knew that we're in the pandemic period, and then I haven't been meeting Verene for at least a month when we're starting podcasting. So yeah, I just bought this so that I can connect my MacBook to the mesh Wi-Fi. We're using Ethernet to make sure that there's stable internet connection. So when we usually call using this cord and all this during our podcast, and it can just go smoothly. There won't be any sudden connection errors and all that. Yes, and after that we'll go on to the next key thing, which is actually this beautiful monitor here. So this beautiful monitor, as mentioned in my lifestyle investment video, it's a Xiaomi 34-inch curved gaming monitor with 144 Hz, but I think I'm just using it up to 50 Hz using with this MacBook Air. Quite funny, but yeah, so I would say that I'm underutilizing it. But of course, the screen real estate is very good. It's huge. I can basically put two windows every time, or even 3 when I really do need a lot of information at one single time. So yeah, it's very good for gaming, wide field of view, very good for video editing. You can scroll through the timeline and everything. And anything else? I think a bit general multitasking and all that. You can just have 2 windows open and all at one single time. Alright, after this, I would like to talk about the mousepad. So this mousepad is actually a recent addition, but I don't really call this a lifestyle investment because it doesn't really improve my lifestyle. It just improves my mental wellness, I guess. It just makes me feel cool when I see it, because prior to this I only have a small mousepad for my mouse, But since my dad upgraded himself to a laptop and he wanted the mousepad, so I gave mine to my previous mousepad to him, and it just gave me a reason to upgrade it into a newer mousepad. And since the RGB version isn't a lot more expensive than the non-RGB one, so I decided to get it. So yeah, with this I can actually change the color. Oh, yeah, I can keep changing the color. Change. I kind of like the white color. It's like simple and nice, but sometimes I just decided to let it. I'm not sure what they call this mode anymore. It just allows you to change the color by itself. Change. So yeah, it doesn't really increase my productivity or whatever. It just makes me feel better. Seriously, that's the main reason of this mousepad. All right, after that, I would like to talk about this amazing keyboard here. So this is actually a Logitech K380 keyboard, and I've been using this for at least 2 years. Yeah, I've been using this for at least 2 years because I bought this even before I got my iPad. So I have used this with my previous laptop because even before, when I was living in my dorm at my university, I was using a two screen setup, my laptop plus a additional monitor. And when you're using a dual screen setup, you practically can't use the keyboard because yeah, you will put it at the side. It won't be that comfortable using a keyboard, so you need another additional keyboard. I started with a wired keyboard, a cheap one, and it didn't work well, so I decided to get this because the feeling of typing on this is very good, and it supports 3 devices and it lasts very long. And of course, it's actually very cheap. So I just got it and I use it all the way till today. And there was one period of time where after I got my iPad, I used my iPad as my daily portable computer. I actually brought this along with me all the time. So yeah, even now I still have the bag I have the keyboard bag in my bag so that I can bring this anywhere if I actually want to. Okay, so coming up next is the Logitech MX Master 3. So there's actually quite a difference here. Why am I using a K380 with a MX Master 3? Because for people that actually know Logitech product, there's actually MX Master keys. And I decided not to buy that because that's very expensive. It's like 600 something ringgit. And I just think that, the typing feeling on that is nice, and then there's backlighting, it's rechargeable, but then for a device that's like almost 8 times more expensive than this keyboard, I don't think it's that worth it because yeah, it doesn't really improve the productivity. And the difference between a cheap mouse and an expensive mouse is that this expensive mouse is a lot more ergonomic and then it comes with macros. But the difference between a cheap keyboard and an expensive keyboard isn't that much. The keys are different, like it's a full length keyboard, it's rechargeable, perhaps more ergonomic, but then it's not that much change if I compare to like changing from a cheap mouse to a MX Master 3. That's why I went with this setup, and it's fine, and I don't think I'll change it anytime soon. But yes, going into detail with this MX Master 3, so it's a very ergonomic mouse, has a lot of macros, it's rechargeable, and you can even use it when it's charging because the port is here, so it's amazing. And yes, it supports up to 3 devices as well, so I actually use it with my iPad together as my portable computing device before I actually switched to the MacBook Air. Amazing. Okay, up next, let me check. What should I talk about? Alright, so my microphone here. So this microphone it's not really a lifestyle investment because it's more like a work investment. So I mainly only use this for my podcast and everything. So yeah, it's actually quite worth it. I don't really know much about microphones because I don't really know how to differentiate it. Yeah, I kind of compared the specs. I kind of checked it, like they talked about the frequency, kind of have a certain amount of frequency, and then like the ohm pendants or something, I forgot. So as long as it fit those criteria, I think that this one is actually okay. And then it came with the arm and everything at just a price of like 200 something, so I think it's pretty worth it. And the audio quality is definitely a lot better than your laptop built-in mic or your earphone built-in mic. So yeah, I'm pretty sure that this is a very good purchase, and then I'll be bringing this to UK as well when I actually further my study there. But yes, Verene actually have the exact same setup here because since we're doing podcasts, so I think it's worth just spending more money on something that we're gonna use it for a long time. Yeah. Do check out our podcast as well. I think I'll put a link at the corner up there. So coming up next, we will now talk about this webcam. So this webcam is actually a Logitech C920 webcam. The cool thing about this is actually free, so I actually got it free when I was doing like e-waste collection and all that, and one customer just gave it for free, and then it's actually working, so I decided to keep it because it's actually a very, very good webcam. Even though it's not the latest version, it's actually quite old. I think it is at least like 3-4 years old, older version, but it comes with autofocus, it has a high resolution, I think full HD, 30 FPS and all that, so yes, yeah, I can record my presentation with that, everything, and then it looks clear and nice. And even with, you just can't compare that one with my MacBook Air webcam. This is like amazing. So I'm stuck with using this, and I definitely won't upgrade because I think that I don't really need a better webcam. And actually, if I were to buy this, I wouldn't actually buy it. So because I got it for free, that's why I'm using it. But unless it's broken, perhaps I will get the similar model, since like I can see how good this model is. So yeah, I'll probably keep with a C920-ish webcam. I think the latest one is C930 or something. Not very sure. So yes, that's actually basically the main stuff which contributes to my work on my desk. Now I'll just go on to some random trinkets on my table here. So yeah, I can see that actually my table is a bit messy, and over here we have a calculator which I've been using since I think my high school. Yeah, I think I'm in high school. Like when I was preparing for my IGs, I actually got this, and I've been using this ever since because I still tutor maths, and so I use that here when I'm doing online tutoring. And there's some notepad there which I don't really use, stapler and hole puncher, tons of coins over here, and a bunch of name cards which I still use when I was running my business. Yeah, a bunch of coins here. Whenever I just like bring back coins, I just like put it here. Some pen stuff on a random cup which I use it as a pen holder. My company chalk, very cool. This is actually a very cool thing. So this is actually 3D printed. When I first joined university, I think during my foundation year, so yeah, there's this 3D printing workshop which I just joined. We can design something, so I just kind of like designing all this landscape stuff. So all this protruding part, these two parts is actually land, and then the middle is like a river or something like that. I just like design this kind of stuff. So yeah, I kept it ever since. It's actually very nice. And yep, a phone holder here for me to put my phone. And then here we have this cool thing which I got it for free from the same customer that gave me the webcam. So this is literally like something for you to actually just to test the keys. Blue keys, brown, red. What is this? Is this black? I have no idea. Black, white, and green. So you kind of just like experience the different keys, something like that. So it's like quite a nice fidget toy for me. Yeah, at the back that's actually a tiny little jar for me to just keep all my random notes. Down here, a small casing to throw in random stuff. There's like screws in it. Here, there's actually a few broken processors which I kept here since they are like fully broken. This Pentium, and then these two are actually i5 4th gen. Yeah, both of them are dead. So I mean, all three of them are dead. I just kept here. They are nice, but yeah, I think eventually I'll throw them away one day. Yes, over here I have an additional Logitech unifying receiver for my MX Master, a pen drive here, and then a nail clipper. So sometimes I just use this when I'm sitting here, you know. I spend a lot of time here. And yes, actually up here we have a lamp which I used to use. Now I don't really use it anymore because I actually used to sleep here, so that's why there's a bed here. But now I don't, so I don't really use this lamp anymore. But yes, after this, that is it. That is actually it for my desktop. So I mean, like, there's still some stuff here, but it's not that important. I mean, I have this stand here last time for my MacBook, so I'll just like plug it in and then put it up there and not use my MacBook screen. But I find that actually the MacBook screen kind of contribute to the whole productivity setup. I can like put my Spotify window there, so I stopped using this and I just left it here. Yeah, a bit sad. Here's some notebook, not important, and that's it. That's my whole desk setup. I mean, a bit messy at the back. Yeah, there's like cables coming down here, all that. But yeah, another thing that kind of contributes to my desk setup is actually this amazing chair as well. So I bought this after pandemic started, and then it's been serving well. It's actually my best investment, I'll say, because like that time I already foreseeing myself being at home for quite some time, so I decided to buy it. And yeah, I actually talked about this in my lifestyle investment after pandemic started as well. So yes, now going below my table. So below my table, there actually isn't much stuff. There's nothing directly beneath the table, but on the floor we have this leg rest. It's actually just a small bench which I just use as leg rest, and then a dustbin there, and yeah, extension cable here plugged with many things plugged in. So on the far right we have this old charger from my previous phone, which I just use it to charge my phone, charge my mouse, charge anything. Yeah. And then we have the second one is actually the mesh Wi-Fi adapter, and then we have the MacBook Air adapter. Yeah, it's a bit dirty here, so yeah, I think I'll have to clean it up if I'm bringing it somewhere. But yeah, initially I never thought of using that because I got myself the PD charger, but since the PD charger I kept it in my room, so I decided that yeah, why not just use the Apple MacBook original charger here in my office. And after that we have the connector to the monitor, and then finally to the lamp. And yes, that is it. That's literally my productivity setup, which I've been using for more than a year. But yeah, there's constant upgrades and stuff. Like a year ago there's no MacBook Air, there's actually no curved monitor, there's no mesh Wi-Fi, there's no mouse pad. MX Master is there and the keyboard is there. Oh, there's no microphone as well. I got the microphone this year, so it's actually pretty empty a year before. But yeah, I'm quite glad that I have all this upgrade now. And yeah, so let me just end it with a nice view of my whole desk setup. Okay, let me just brighten this up. I kind of like this wall. I really like these two wallpaper from Apple. Like it changed according to the time. So now it's actually nighttime, so it's like fully dark. Like in the morning you can see the sunrise and all that, and afternoon it's like fully bright. Evening, dusk, you can see like purplish, all that, and at night it's all dark blue. It's actually very nice. But yeah, so thanks everyone for watching. If you like this video, do like, share and subscribe. Maybe check out my previous video, which I've shared in depth the few lifestyle investment which I have actually made after the pandemic, because after pandemic we're basically spending more time at home, so I decided to spend some time, some money onto my lifestyle. Or maybe you can check out the Ink Thoughts podcast, which is actually a podcast channel created by me and my girlfriend Verene, where we just discuss about random incongruous thoughts of our daily life. So yes, thanks everyone for watching, and hope to see you guys in the next video. But yes, actually I think I'll be making another productivity desk setup towards the end of the year when I'm at UK, because definitely I'll have a different desk setup by then. So yeah, if you're interested, do subscribe and wait for that. So thank you, bye bye.